Hello and welcome to Blush, the world's first wellness show that's actually entertaining. I'm Hiva and I quit law so I can help you look and feel your best. Together, we get into food, nutrition, all the latest wellness trends, but we also laugh, get silly, drop a few F-bombs, and go on a million tangents. So if that sounds like your vibe, we're about to be best friends. Hello, happy last Tuesday of the month. Happy almost Halloween. Ooh, I can't believe it's about to be Halloween. I have so many social obligations this week that I just can't wait to flake on. In all seriousness, how can I be a less flaky person? Like, seriously, I know this is a Q&A episode where I'm supposed to answer your questions, but I have a question for you. How can I be less flaky? Like, I was watching Below Deck Med, and there's this guy on right now. His name's Max, and he was on 2 seasons ago. And 2 seasons ago, he was, I don't want to say the laziest person I've ever met. I have a weird relationship with the word lazy. Like, I feel like it's not very 2025 to call people lazy anymore. Like, I don't know where the war on laziness started, but nowadays it's like if someone says lazy, it's like, oh, no, we're just overworked or this or that. It's like, okay, whatever. Call it whatever word you want to call it. I will say he was the least ambitious person I've observed ever. Like, he was there. He was a deckhand. He barely did anything. And he was very vocal about the fact that he was like constantly quitting jobs and just like really not into working and doing things, whatever. So he wanted to quit like 2 weeks before the season was over. And the captain was like, Max, you can't quit. Like, you have to stay. And so he did round out the season. He was actually lovely, but whatever. Anyway, so he wasn't on last season, which is normal. Below Deck doesn't have a standard cast. Like, they change out constantly. And then this season he's on again. And he said that last year during that off time, he went to Bali and he was hypnotized. And when I tell you, this motherfucker is one of the hardest working people I've ever seen now, like the hardest working person on TV. It's like him and Kris Jenner together are the hardest working people on television. And it's fascinating to me. Now, I'm super into meditation, mindfulness, self-hypnosis, all the things, NLP. Like, I fuck with all that shit, right? But it seems like the type of hypnosis he did is different because this is a very drastic night or day. It seems like honestly, the type of hypnosis he did was more like the kind of cliche, like close your eyes, whatever, this, that, like now bark like a dog type situation. And I want to know who can hypnotize me to be less flaky. Like, who can hypnotize me to actually follow through on the plans that I make? Like, who can hypnotize me to be less of a cunt while we're at it? Like, imagine if I was just more polite. Like, how lovely would that be, especially for the people around me, Imagine if I was just nicer. Like, how much more enjoyable would most people's lives be if I was nicer? Just some food for thought. Anyway, I do have a lot of social obligations this week, and I'm not gonna lie, I am having a minor meltdown. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna make them happen. I have 3 things scheduled for the next 7 days, and none of the 3 are even on Halloween. So what am I supposed to do, a 4th thing on Halloween? Also, last time this year, I believe I was just like curled up in a ball in the corner of the room, laying on the floor crying. So honestly, if I make one of the 3, I'll be happy. So it's the last Tuesday of the month. It is a Q&A day. There are some really fun questions. We'll get right into them. Yeah. By the way, you may have noticed last week I did not do gratefuls, nor did I do foods that make you blush. And I can't promise that I'll do them this week either. Honestly, I was going to wait till the new year to stop doing them, but it's like I can't even muster up the effort to do them between now and the new year. So there's that too. Okay, we're still doing the phone because honestly, I can't even get to the blender. I can't get to the printer to do triage on it because there's a whole obstacle course between me and where the printer is. So it is what it is. We're just doing this for now until I deal with it. Okay. Have you ever dealt with sugar addiction? If so, how did you overcome it? If not, do you have any tips? I feel like my sugar addiction is ruining my life. So for starters, I have many questions on how your sugar addiction is ruining your life. Like, I like to picture that you are exchanging sexual favors to get money for sugar. Like, you're out here pawning family heirlooms to get your Kit Kat fix. No, I mean, all jokes aside, I can imagine how sugar addiction could be ruining your life, right? I kind of feel like that about food addiction. Sometimes it's like when I think about what's standing between me and the way that I want my life to look, which really the difference between my current life and how I want my, ideally, like if I could have my wildest dreams, like, yeah, sure, definitely more money would be nice and things like that. Certainly a dog who isn't getting UTIs left, right, and center would be lovely. But the biggest thing I would say that separates my current life from my dream life is I'm not nearly as social in my current life as I am. Like when I close my eyes and I picture like my ideal dream life, it's a lot of being surrounded by friends, a lot more community, a lot more having fun. And isn't it funny how not 5 minutes ago I was talking about wanting to cancel all the plans that I have this week? Like I'm the one who sabotages that. Why? I don't know. But my best guess is that it has to do with food issues, because I feel like I was not this flaky before eating disorder stuff. Like I was a lot more social. I was a lot more into going out, and then that kind of went away. And it really, like, it's gone up and down throughout my life, but it's never been quite the same. But also I'm not 21 anymore. That's a part of it too. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Where was I going with this? Yeah. So I can really relate to it because I feel like my food issues do quite literally ruin my life. Now, if I were a betting man, my guess is that you more so mean things like gut issues, acne, energy, whatever. I get it though. I get it. So I was just teasing. So have I ever dealt with sugar addiction? Yes and no. I am going to say something that might be controversial. I don't really believe in sugar addiction. And before you get mad, hear me out. I feel like, yes, there are times where we are more drawn to things. Like I've certainly been in phases in my life where I have to end every single meal with a dessert. Otherwise, like I will keep eating. Like I just like, I can't stop. Like it's like I have to have something sweet every single day. Certainly been in phases like that in my life. Where I have an issue, I guess is a semantics issue. I don't think it's an addiction. Like I've been around a lot of true, real addiction. Okay. I dated a guy when I was in my early 20s who was an actual addict. He stole my car one time to go buy drugs. He one time stole my car. He literally stole money from me. He wrote a check to himself from my checkbook. He found my checkbook and wrote himself a check from my checkbook. And by the way, I discovered both of these things at the same time and we broke up that day. I just want to be clear. This wasn't like an ongoing thing that I just allowed to happen. Although honestly, I had such low self-worth. I did date this man for a year, you know, and by man, I mean child. We were kids. Anyway, that's a real addiction. You know what I mean? Like if he didn't get his fix, he would go into withdrawals. Like he would be visibly shaking, sweating, throwing up, getting sick. Like before having been around addiction so close and real in my life, I use the word a lot more loosely. Now I'm a lot more like, that's not addiction. And the reason that I say this, like, I don't think you meant that, right? I don't think you meant that like your sugar addiction is equivalent to like a narcotics addiction, right? But the reason I say that is because there are a lot of people in wellness who say that it is. There are a lot of people, and I've heard the exact phrase, sugar is more addictive than cocaine. Okay. Call up Charlie Sheen. I think some people might disagree with you, okay? Like there's rehab centers all over this country filled with people who have cocaine problems, which is honestly shocking because cocaine is very expensive and the economy is not very good. So I have a lot of questions, quite frankly. Like, how are these people even getting hooked on cocaine to begin with? How am I just really poor? Because I don't think I could afford to even get to the point of getting addicted to cocaine, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, that's a crazy statement and it's completely untrue. Like it's completely untrue. And then another thing that I've heard in the wellness space, which is something that I used to think was true also, is someone was like, well, no, you're not addicted to sugar because if I were to put like a bowl of sugar in front of you, you wouldn't eat the bowl of sugar, right? Like you want... So basically what they say is it's not a sugar addiction, it's a highly palatable food addiction. So basically it's the packaging of the sugar with the fat and the salt that is what you're actually addicted to. Again, take a peek around rehab centers throughout the country. Not one person is there because they can't stop eating cake, okay? Not one person is there. And I know that there are like eating disorder facilities. And in fact, I know that there are rehab facilities where there's drugs and eating disorder people commingled, which I think is an interesting take. I know a girl who went to one of those for drugs, not for eating disorders. But she said that the eating disorder people got like really good food and the people who were there for drug detox got really shit food. And I think that tells you something about the status of our country and how we judge people. Anyway, I also don't think that's real. Like, I don't think that, like, again, do I think that we are more drawn to certain foods? Yes, but I don't think it's an addiction per se. And I really do think, as much as like we just use words loosely, right? Like, oh, that thing's like crack. That's fine. I'm fine with that. The reason I'm harping on to the semantics here is A, to just dispel this idea that it's this like uncontrollable thing. And B, I want to give you a little bit of agency back. You have control over the situation. Is it hard? Yes. Like, trust me, I get it as someone who's like struggled with binge eating for like so fucking long. And it's like you literally have control, but you're just not doing the thing. I get it. But I do want to just differentiate a little bit because I really do think it's important. Also, speaking of highly palatable, I saw something on social media yesterday and I don't know what to think of it. So someone who I follow, who I really, really like, who I think consistently has really, really good content. She's a registered dietitian. She does recipe content. I've never made her recipes, so I can't speak to that. But I find that her content is highly educational. Again, she has an actual degree. She's not just like some dumb cunt like talking out her ass like some people we know. And if you're not watching on video, I'm pointing at myself. But you know what I mean? She has really great content, but she posted something the other day about cooking methods. Now, like we did do it here first at Blush, which is just like kind of the theme of our lives. I feel like I can't tell you how many times I get DMs that's like, oh my God, like Goop is talking about this or this is talking about this. And like, we already covered this on Blush. I'm like, yeah, we did. We're way fucking ahead of the curve, you know? Anyway. So, where was I going with this? Oh, she was talking about cooking methods, basically getting at the whole, I don't know if you remember the episode we did on water-based cooking, or I think it was one of the wellness trends that we covered kind of at the top of the year, I think. So she was talking about how like water-based cooking is better, blah, blah, blah. But something that she said that I can't get out of my head is she goes, when you roast vegetables, the sugars caramelize and the flavors concentrate and they become and I'm quoting, she goes, they become highly palatable and it can become hard to stop eating them. And I was like, wait a second. Have we now reached the phase in wellness where a plant-based dietitian is telling me that my veggies are too processed and it might be a problem if I'm eating too much of them? Like, is this really what it's come to? Like, are you trying to take all joy out of lives? Like, I think we've completely lost the plot, quite frankly. Like, I think that there are a lot of great reasons to reach for steaming over roasting. The AGEs argument, right? Like lower AGEs. Again, revisit that episode. I'm not an expert on it. I had done research for that episode and I was reading off of cards that had my research. Also, a really good person to look for, I have my phone, but she talks about this a lot. I'm just going to check what her name is. I think it's Dr. Michelle Davenport, but I'm just going to double check real quick because she really is phenomenal. Yeah, Dr. Michelle Davenport. Davenport is Davenport. I guess exactly what it sounds like. Oh, she has 277,000 followers, which is notable because 2s and 7s are my favorite numbers and I love seeing 2s and 7s together. Anyway, she talks a lot about water-based cooking and how it helps slow aging. And she is Asian and she says that it's really common in Asian cuisine and that is why a lot of those Asian cultures live longer. Anyway, she has really great content on this. I guess she's a doctor, so she knows what she's talking about. Check her out. She's going to be a lot more eloquent on this than I am. In fact, we were really coordinating to try to get her on the podcast, but she's not based in New York. So that's kind of an issue. And people have a really hard time understanding, like, I do not do remote recordings. Like, it's just not worth it. Like even if you're even if like the Queen were to hit me up, I'd be like, you get on a flight or I'll get on a flight, but like, we're not going to do it over Zoom. Sorry, Queen. Sorry, Queen. I guess I'll book a flight to heaven to come see you. Like, who's the Queen? What am I referring to? Anyway, well, okay. So yeah, I think there are great reasons, right? And I it's extremely believable to me that steaming is far healthier than roasting. That being said, are we really demonizing roasting? Like, it's not like we're talking about deep frying. Like, I just think there's room for everything. And yes, the sugars do caramelize when you roast things, and that does make things yummier. And I'm so sorry, God forbid, we want to make our vegetables taste yummier. Like, I just think that's too far. Like, I think that's sucking way too much joy out of life. Watch me next week be like, anyway, guys, so when you roast vegetables, they just become too highly palatable. Like, you gotta stop. Like, watch me make a full 180 on this. Honestly, if you've been listening for a while, you know I do 180s all the fucking time. So it happens. Anyway, sugar addiction. Let's make our way back there. So this is what I want to get at. I don't really believe in sugar addiction, but here's what I do believe based on the research that I've done. A lot of our cravings, not all, but a lot of our cravings are actually based on what we've been eating. So basically, when we eat certain foods, they're feeding certain bacteria in our gut. So let's say hypothetically, there are 3 types of food in the world. Let's say it's sugar, broccoli, and chickpeas. Let's say those are the only 3 foods in the world. And there's 3 types of bacteria in the world. Let's call it bacterium, sacterium, and chacterium. This is so stupid. Honestly, if you keep listening after this, I'm kind of judging you. I just can't imagine if it's your first time listening, you're going to be like, is this girl okay? Like, what the fuck is Chacterium? I made it up, okay? It's an example. Just roll with it. Okay, so there are 3 foods in the world: sugar, broccoli, and chickpeas. And there are 3 types of bacteria: bacterium, sacterium, and Chacterium. So these 3 different types of bacteria, these are gut bacteria, by the way, I should have specified. These 3 types of bacteria feed on the 3 different foods. So in case you didn't piece this together, spoiler alert, what's coming next is bacterium feasts on broccoli, sacterium feasts on sugar, and Chacterium feasts on chickpeas, right? So let's say you're eating a lot of chickpeas. Well, you're going to get more and more Chacterium. I can't keep doing this. I'm sorry. I think you already know where I'm going with this, and I think I should just wrap it up because each time I say Sacterium and Chacterium, I just feel like the brand is like lowering and lowering, you know? Like, I don't think I can ever get a guest after this. Okay, so the more, when you eat a lot of chickpeas, your population and strength of Chacterium increases. And then those Chacterium become louder. They become hungrier because they just got stronger. You know, like I got a lot stronger this year. Guess what? My muscles want more protein. Same thing here. So this Chacterium is going to be like chickpeas. Feed me chickpeas. I want more chickpeas. I need more chickpeas. And then you're like, wow, I'm just like craving chickpeas all the time. Yeah, it's because Chacterium is telling you that you want more chickpeas. Okay, so that's fine. No one thinks anything of it when it's Chacterium. No one thinks anything of it when it's chickpeas. I don't know if I can keep going with this. Same thing with bacterium and broccoli, right? The more broccoli you eat, the more you're feeding the bacterium, then the bacterium just like demands more broccoli, right? You get that. Now, same thing happens with Sacterium. Now, unfortunately, Sacterium is not such a beneficial type of bacteria. Sacterium is the kind of bacteria that makes you fart all day long, okay? Sacterium is the type of bacteria that makes no one want to put their head under your comforter. But that's neither here nor there. So the more sugar you eat, the stronger the Sacterium becomes, and the more it's like, sugar, feed me sugar, 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 sugar. It wants the sugar, right? And then instead of being like, ooh, I'm craving sugar all the time, we're like, I'm a sugar addict. That's what's going on there. So basically, if you just start eating it less, then the Sacterium get weaker and weaker. One of my favorite things about Sacterium is that it reminds me of ball sacks. And I don't know if you would know this about me, but I really like testicles. Not like, ooh, like not like in a like, ooh, I just like love to like suck on balls kind of way. That's really not what I mean. I don't mean like men's testicles. I mean, you know, traditionally, never mind. I'm going to get in trouble if I continue that sentence. It's going somewhere really not pleasant. Okay. Like, I don't mean that I like testicles on men. Like, I like to play with men's testicles, or like when I date people, like I want to play with their testicles. That's not what I mean. What I mean is I wish I had testicles. Or it's just like, I don't know where I'd put them, I guess is my issue, because I just feel like I don't have a lot of room for them. Like my pants don't have a lot. Like I don't want testicles like dangling off my body. That's not what I mean. And I do not mean that I want a penis. Unlike what Freud may think. I was actually randomly thinking about Freud and penis envy the other night. I was like, wow, I can't believe no one was like, yeah, no, we don't want a penis. Nope. I don't know where that came from. I have no idea what made you think that I wanted a penis. Like, that's so not, like, there are so many things I'm envious of. Penises? Nope. Wouldn't even make the top 1,000, quite frankly. Anyway, I just like the texture of testicles. Like, I think the skin, it's kind of like suede meets velvet, you know, not when it's like not when it's wet, like not when it's like sweaty, but when it's dry, I like the feeling a lot. And I like that it's kind of like, it's just something to play with, you know? I don't know. They're really fun. The reason I thought of it is because Sam has this growth on one of her paws. It's like think where the ankle would be. And it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Like we've been to the vet for this for years and they're like, it's just not worth taking off. I'm like, what do you mean it's not worth taking off? They're like, the surgery would be difficult. Like you're gonna have a hard time finding a surgeon who would do it. She can't even withstand surgery and it's probably gonna be fine. And we're like, what do you mean it's gonna be fine? Because it keeps getting bigger. The thing is like the size of a clementine now. Okay, it's massive. It's an actual testicle and it kind of hangs the way a testicle would. And I was playing with it earlier and I was like, that's cool. She has a testicle now that I can play with. I've always wanted one. Anyway, this was a weird this was, of all the tangents I've gone on, this was by far the strangest one, I think. And I also kind of think the least relatable. If you can relate to liking the texture of testicles, please do hit me up because I really think that we're alone in this world on that thought. Anyway, so I was saying Sacterium. Basically, a lot of what's going on is that. Now, the other thing is, I do think there's an argument to be made for the highly palatable thing because it does kind of make you, I don't know, I don't think it even makes you like secrete more dopamine. I think it's the anticipation of it that makes you secrete more dopamine. Anyway, basically, it's kind of like a habit is the best way I can describe it, right? I don't think you're addicted to sugar. I think that you have a habit of eating sugar, and there are certain gut bacteria that have a habit of receiving it, and they're demanding more of it. Now, how I've always overcome this in the past, besides obviously like taking a good probiotic, making sure you're eating lots of fiber, things like that, is I will, number one, eliminate all sugar that isn't tied to a fiber source immediately, at least temporarily, until things get under control. So what I mean by that is like regular sugar, cane sugar, white sugar, maple syrup, coconut sugar, all that shit, I would cut it out immediately and I would replace it with whole food sources of sweeteners. Specifically, I like to use whole dates blended into things as a sweetener. Number two, I would make a big batch of a date-based or otherwise whole food-based sweet dessert situation to have on hand for when the craving hits, because I don't think you should like suddenly go cold turkey. I think that that's going to be problematic. And on that note, I forgot to mention, make sure you're eating enough carbs too, because that's another thing that's at play. If you're eating no carbs, like, yeah, of course you're going to have sugar addiction because like your body needs carbs. And it's just at that point, if you're depleting it, it's going to want to go for the quickest way of absorbing it. So that's something really important to keep in mind. Another thing is if you're a regular drinker, alcohol drinker, I mean, even if you're not drinking like sweet alcoholic drinks, it doesn't matter. Alcohol is sugar. If you suddenly stop drinking for whatever reason, you might find yourself craving sweets all the time. I can't tell you how many people I know who are like daily drinkers, not like in a problematic way, but like we'll have, you know, a glass of whatever at the end of the night. Like I have this friend, right? Stephanie, always would have like a drink like most days, and she got pregnant and she was like, oh my God, I crave sweets so much. And she was never into sweets at all. She was always a savory kind of girl. And I was like, yeah, because you're not drinking suddenly, so your body needs to compensate for that sugar from somewhere. Anyway, so that's another thing to keep in mind. But yeah, I would prep something. Now, here's a recommendation. It doesn't really matter, but this is something that really, really helps me. In these scenarios, I would recommend prepping something that can sit in the freezer. And the reason I say that is it can last a really long time in the freezer. Like I would not recommend, for example, baking a batch of brownies and then having them around, because there's part of you that's going to be like, oh, I should finish these brownies before they go off. Versus if you have something that's in the freezer, you don't have to worry about that. So you can just grab a bit at a time. Now, what I think works really, really nicely for this is my, I call them Nutella Twix ice cream bars. I think those are really fucking good. They hit the spot. They give you that sweetness. They give you the creaminess. They give you the chocolatiness. There's a little bit of salt. Like, it really checks all the boxes. And they live in the freezer, so you don't have to have that. But I would recommend making them bite size. And that way, every time you get that sugar craving, try to just hold off for like 5 to 10 minutes. Be like, okay, I have this craving. I will eat something sweet in 5 minutes. Do something else for 5 minutes. If you still have the craving at that point, go to the freezer, grab a bite, eat it, and keep doing it like that. And like, the idea is that you taper off to the point where you don't actually need it anymore. And as you change your diet, the cravings will change with it. Like, I always find that to be the case. I kind of almost want to end the episode here because I just feel like it's only going to go downhill from here. Like, that was so fucking good. I don't know. Maybe I'll do one more because the questions are so good. But like, we just can't top Sactarium. Like, that shit was so fucking funny. Okay, you know what? I'll do this one because I have a good answer that's helpful. I signed up to an online workout platform, but I never use it. I've been paying for months, and every week I say I'm going to get into it, but over the course of 4 months, I've only used it twice. Do you have any tips for consistency? Yes, I have 3 tips. They're all very straightforward, all very easy, and they're all very effective. And I think that you should do all 3. This isn't a do one. No, do all 3. Number 1, you really want to focus on your why, or focus on the payoffs. Like, why did you sign up for this online workout platform? Is it to get in better shape? I mean, presumably, right? But why? Like, why do you want to be in better shape? Or is it just straight up like when I first signed up for an online fitness platform, it wasn't even to get in better shape. It was straight up for mental health reasons. So whatever it is, and then keep asking why until you get to like a really root core thing, right? Like, let's say it's like to get in better shape, and it's like, okay, why? Why do you want to be in better shape? You might get to, I want to have kids soon, and I want to make sure that I like have enough energy to run around with the kids. That's a really fucking good reason. That's a really, really good reason, right? You want to keep asking until you get to something deep and core. And if it's something aesthetic based that you're getting at, it's like, I just want to be leaner. I want to be thinner. I want to be whatever. Okay, why? Like, keep asking why until you get to something really, really good. And if you get to something that's like, well, because I'm trying to find a partner and I haven't found one yet, yeah, being thinner, being leaner, etc. won't do that for you. That's not a good reason. You need to go get to the root of why you think you need that in order to find that thing. Okay, so just case closed on that. Now that that's out of the way, and you really, really want to remind yourself of the payoffs, and remind yourself also not just of the long-term payoffs, but also the immediate term payoffs, right? Sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't feel like going to solid core, but then I remember how good I feel afterwards. And that's motivation right there. So there's that. Now, the other 2 I think are really important, especially this next one I'm going to say. I think this is actually probably the single most important thing. Schedule it. Don't be like, oh, I'm going to use the platform tomorrow. No, when? Specifically when tomorrow. Schedule it. Put it in your planner. Pick a time. Adhere to it. Pair it with something. I don't like, you know what I mean? Like, make it as easy on yourself as possible in the moment. This reminds me, when I was in high school, I was reading an interview that Jessica Alba did in a magazine. I really, really liked her, in part because she's shorter, and I just like really kind of identified with like shorter girls that were attractive. I was like, oh, cool. So it's possible to be short and be attractive. And she said that she always works out, and she's like, in my mind, I've equated it to brushing my teeth. Like it's just, it never doesn't happen. Like you don't just like not brush your teeth because you don't feel like it, right? I mean, most like if you are like, as someone who's paid a lot in dental care stuff, like please just start brushing your teeth consistently. Like we're all pretty consistent about brushing our teeth. We don't just, or I'll make it even more basic. It's like getting dressed before you leave the house. Like no one's out here being like, I didn't feel like it, or I just didn't have time for it. Like even if you're running late, you're going to put clothes on before you leave the house. Like I guarantee it, unless you're listening from prison, in which case, hello. So nice to have you join us. You know what I mean? If you get to a point where it's like truly a non-negotiable, like it's so scheduled into your life that it's just not like, you just can't not do it. That's the way, right? Like Sam goes out to use the bathroom without fail. Like there's never a moment where it's like, I just don't feel like taking her out. No, it's just like, it's just something that has to happen. Like the stakes are too high if it doesn't happen. So you're gonna have to find a way to schedule it and like really raise the stakes of not doing it, quite frankly. Like make it more painful to not do it than to do it. And then the last thing, and this actually, I was already planning on doing this question for today, but this actually happened. I was thinking about this today, so I'm just going to add it on. Get a friend to sign up to the same online platform. Even if you're not like geographically together and can't do it at the same time, just her doing it and you guys being able to talk about it is going to motivate you. So I had signed up for, I don't know if you know Atara Valentine. He's this, he's a coach and he's like really skilled, like he's certified in hypnosis and trauma and stuff. And he has an online, like a digital course platform thing that's all about self-development, like nervous. It's honestly, it's a lot like Blush Academy, only like better. So if you're a former Blush Academy member, I highly recommend checking it out. So, I signed up for his platform months ago and I have not been using it at all. And I'm always just like, one day I'll start using it. And then my friend Colleen signed up last week and she's been using it and she keeps talking to me about various things that she's doing in the platform. So now I've started like being really consistent with it only because Colleen started doing it. So I really do think having a buddy, even if it's not like Colleen and I are sitting together and doing it, like we're literally in separate cities, but just the fact that she talks about it like makes me do it. Same thing with, I had The Artist's Way, the book, for a year and a half before I ever actually made it past like the first 5 pages. And the reason that I was able to do the program through once is because I assembled a little group and we did it together and we met weekly. And now we're actually doing The Artist's Way for the second time. So how fun is that? Anyway, finding a little like buddy will be really, really helpful. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and fuck off because I just feel like we peaked at bacterium, sacterium, tracterium. And I don't think anything is going to be as good. So like I said, we're not doing foods that make you, actually, you know what? Let's do a quick foods that make you blush. These are foods that I actually think really could help like get you off of a sugar addiction. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm having a situation with snot. It's like really disgusting. I'm so sorry if you watched on video. I'm watching my neighbor's kittens right now. They're so fucking cute, but I am allergic to cats. So it's a thing. It's a whole thing. Anyway, how fun is that for me? So, beans, number 1. Number 2, fennel. Number 3, dates. Number 4, Japanese sweet potatoes steamed for a very, very, very long time until they're really, really soft. And number 5, avocados. Okay, that's it. Love ya. Thanks for being here. We'll talk next week. Wait, by the way, next week's Blush Kitchen is really good. The recipe, it's really, really good. It's like a really fun one. you'll definitely want to check it out, whether you have a sugar addiction or not. Okay, love you. There's a whole outro, so you know what to do. Okay, bye. If you loved that episode as much as I hope you did, make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss a thing, and check out some past episodes while you wait for the new one to drop next week. And until next week, make sure to stay cunty out there.